This is my Nanuk 909. I have deemed this too small for what I need. So what's the next option? Let's find out. Hi, my name's Mike. I'm a full-time traveler and ham radio operator. I activate amazing parks all over the United States. Join the adventure and see what's next.
Wow, do I really look like a guy with a plan?
That traveler has
I just do things.
This is a huge, beastly, bulging man. Plates were from Kansas.
All right, folks, I got a radio box update for you today. This is the Nanuk 909. This is the case you've been seeing me with, which, as I stated, is just the perfect size to fit the Yaesu FT891 in. Fits in there with just a hair bit of gap on the sides of the radio, you know, on these sides of the case, with a little bit more room to the outside. So if all you want is a case that's perfectly sized to transport the 891, this is a great option. And maybe you could even put a little bit of foam on the outside if you wanted, if it was just a transport. But you know, I just had mine sitting loose in here, and with everything else that I packed in, it didn't really move around at all in there. It was really good. But for the way I want to operate, this is a little too small. I couldn't fit the other stuff in there that I wanted. It was tough to get the face in there with the wires and connectors that I had in there. I never could get this Lido mount to fit in there that would suction cup onto the top of the radio. I never could get that guy to fit real well for me. And for what I wanted to use this for, this became too small. So what I've done is this has become my camera case. My camera case was also packed with too much stuff. So this became just the absolute perfect size for all my GoPro and iPhone and DJI sound accessories. They all fit in here really well. That's the role this guy has taken. What I did, you may have noticed in the Grand Canyon video, I now have a new case. It's the next size up. This is the Nanuk 910. And now you can see I can fit the Lido mount. I can fit the face. I have a key in there. The microphone fits easy in there, and I still have all my wires attached. You know, I would always have to unplug the wires that lead to the digi-rig. Now I don't have to. So this is the size that is going to fit me well, the Nanuk 910, and it just added, you know, 2 inches to each dimension. So now I've got about 1 inch on each side of the radio, and you know, it added 2 more inches of width this way, of length, so I've got more room to put the stuff in here. It's also just a hair taller. I want to see about an option for having the face mounted on some sort of Lido mount in here, so it's kind of permanently installed and I don't have to set it up every time. And I want to see if I can get some sort of system built in here where the face can stow here, and then when I operate, it folds out and rotates, you know, so I can operate like so. It's always hooked up, it's always ready to go. That's a little more of a permanent installation. So that's the direction I am heading at the moment here with the Nanuk 910, the 910. And that, I think this one's gonna work right. Now you might notice, if you know I'm a guy from Kansas, you might look at these colors and say, oh, he's a Chiefs fan. Negative. Not a Chiefs fan, just to clear that up. But I'm excited about this direction. I think this is gonna be the way to go, and it's a little bit larger, but still small enough that it can fit in either my day pack or my, I took it down in Grand Canyon in my large hiking pack, my 75-liter pack. It fits in both of those well, still has room for other things. So I think this will work well. This is still smaller than what a lot of guys use are the, what's the brander you can buy in Harbor Freight? I can't think of it right off the top of my head, but a lot of guys use those Harbor Freight cases. They're either too small in this dimension for the radio. The radio just won't fit by a fraction of an inch. It just won't fit in the smaller models. And when you get to the larger models, you get some serious height to some of those cases, and they're more of a size that's appropriate for a Go box. If I'm going to fit my radio and the power source and have room to store my antenna, you know, and you have everything in your little box. That's what those Apache cases, that's what those are. That's what those Apache cases I think are good for. That's not what I'm after here. I really need something that's just the right size. The 909 was a little small. The 910 is the next size up. I think this is going to be the Goldilocks version of this product for me. I'm still just kind of roughing things out here. I do have the radio actually Velcroed in here now. Since this is bigger, it can move around. So I've actually got it attached to the mount that Yaesu sends with the radio, and it's Velcroed to the bottom of this case. I don't think I'm going to be quite as picky on not puncturing this case. If I need to put a screw or a rivet through here to mount some sort of Lido system to mount the face, fine. I didn't want to do that originally. I think I'm okay with doing that here. So I may yet get some small nuts and bolts to attach the mount to the base of this thing. We'll see what direction that goes. Having this in here just for a couple weeks, I don't think that Velcro is going to be strong enough to keep this in place in a permanent installation. So it might take some bolts there, and then there's enough width here I can actually access these screws, and I could undo them and take the radio out fairly easily and just leave the mount attached. So maybe I'll just bolt or rivet it in there, and that'll be the way I go. I'm probably going to be a little more liberal with the idea of having some connections either in the side or in the back for power and antenna, and just try to keep the whole thing as clean as possible without wires going everywhere, either while it's stored or while I'm operating. So that with a little bit of space, I think I can achieve that a little bit better. One of the downsides of this brand is everything's kind of rounded. There's not too many flat spaces. Even this on the top, let's see, do I have anything that's got a flat edge here? You know, there's no rock back and forth this way. There's a little bit of wiggle this way. It's curved this way just a little bit. I don't know if it's enough to matter for a, like a voltage readout or a power pole hookup, if you wanted to have that in here. But the side's flat, the back is flat, the top is doable, a little bit of curve. With this smaller version, there's really a decent amount of curve going across this way, just because there's so much less length here. So that is a downside of the Nanuk. If you're wanting to put connections all over this thing, I would at least go with a 910 so you get a little bit of space to do that. The 909 was too small to unless it's really small little adapters you're going to want to put in there for like your Morse code key or an external speaker or something like that. All right, I'll keep you up to date on how this goes throughout the year, and I feel pretty confident this is the one I'm going to go with. We'll see. We'll make a lot of decisions as we go here, probably tinker with it throughout the year, and I'll keep you up to date. See you next time.